Hey, my name is Nina and I'm a popular singer. With the richest parents in town. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. Concerts sold out every week. And partying with fans all over the world every day might sound fun. But do you know what's even cooler? Party all night long. Just after my show. Did I escape with my friend Finn? To go to the biggest party ever on a secret island. But when he stopped, the helicopter was already there.
My anticipation turned to
panic. I thought we would go with your yacht. You know I'm afraid of heights, right?
Come on. The flight only lasts 5 minutes. You can do that already.
So enjoy the party without me.
Babe, come on. Don't have you like that. I'm serious. I'm sorry.
I just ignored him and left. When I went back to town, someone was suddenly behind me. I grabbed my bow and arrow and screamed at him. Why are you hiding, dude? Are you afraid? Don't worry, I'm not biting. Then he just threw a magazine at me and left. What the hell? I picked it up and saw that I was on the cover. Painted all over my face with a death threat. Unfortunately for him, I'm not afraid. The threats came again and again over the weekend. My parents always wanted to hire a bodyguard for me. But I didn't want an old guy who haunts me the whole time. But this time they wouldn't take no for an answer. When I finally saw my new bodyguard, I almost fainted. He was the most beautiful man I've ever seen. And he only looked a few years older than me. Hi, sweetie. Are you sure you're a bodyguard and not my next boyfriend? To my surprise, he didn't smile at all. You look much too young for this job. How can I trust you? Suddenly, a ball from our neighbor hurled straight at me. And he immediately fought him off with one hand.
Trust me, I'm really good at my job. You can have a look at my resume. Your dad knows what's good for you.
Yes, okay. Anyway.
Let's go.
He opened the car door for me. I accidentally touched his chest with my shoulder. And oh my God, it felt harder than a rock. When we arrived at school, Finn didn't look so happy. He doesn't like it when other guys are around me. He pulled me aside and said,
Baby, I know I've made a mistake, but to get back to me, flirt with another guy, it's too hard, isn't it?
He's my damn bodyguard. I'm still mad at you for what you've done. And now you're jealous too. Dennis suddenly joined us.
Is there a problem here? Stay out of it, man.
But Dennis swooped him and pushed him to the ground.
Hey, what are you doing? Let go of me, idiot.
Hey, stop that.
Dennis finally released Finn after a minute.
As expected, Finn got really angry. I immediately ignored him. Before Dennis beats him up again. That's enough, Finn. He's just doing his job.
Why do you need a bodyguard when you have me? I'm your boyfriend. I'm protecting you. Suddenly, a little spider landed on his shoulder.
And he ran away screaming. Girls literally drool when they saw Dennis. He looks more like a model than a bodyguard. He can be the father of my kids. He is much more attractive than Finn. I'd love to touch his arm. These girls sounded so desperate. But they were right. When I arrived at our classroom, my best friend Teresa was already waiting for me with a coffee. Hey honey, here's your coffee. Dennis suddenly grabbed the mug and started to smell it. Then he took a sip. And waited a few seconds before he said,
Okay, you may.
When he returned it to me, Teresa stared at him. What is your problem, man? Did you really think I was poisoning my best friend?
I'm just doing my job.
Teresa wanted to talk to me in private. So you're giving up your privacy just like that. I know the guy is attractive. But there is something wrong with him. His name alone sounds like problems. You must get rid of him as soon as possible. Come on, Teresa. It's only his first day, relax. But Teresa was right. I didn't have a second of privacy. Dennis followed me everywhere I went every damn second. He was always behind me, even in class. And on the toilet too. Home, he stood right in front of my door. And I've never seen him sleep. And what was worse, he had that ice-cold look on his face the whole time. It's like he doesn't have any feelings. One evening I wanted to record my new song. And when I reached the studio, a guy came up to me. He was just about to pull something out of his back pocket, when Dennis suddenly grabbed his arm and twisted it. "Drop your gun."
What, I just wanted her autograph, man.
Dennis then let go of the poor guy. That was really embarrassing. "What is wrong with you?" "I'm a popular singer, so you'll have to get used to my fans."
I'm just doing my job.
"Nina, calm down." I was back at school the next day. Finn has followed me time and time again to apologize. But I ignored him anyway until he said,
My cousin is hosting an exclusive yacht party. There are a few very well-known people coming. He's a fan of yours and would be thrilled if you came.
"Now he has my attention. Parties have always been my weakness."
Just come to me tomorrow.
"Okay, all right." Finn asked not to bring Dennis to our date tomorrow. So I spoke to him privately.
My job is to be with you the whole time. I'm so sorry, but I can't do that.
But Dennis stuck to his mind. So I finally gave up and let him come with us. We went to a private movie theater. And we watched a super sad movie together. Minutes after the movie started, Finn and I cried like little girls, while Dennis was just sitting there. What is he? A robot? After the movie, we went to a fancy restaurant. We had a good time with a few drinks. Until Finn started getting closer and closer to me.
Just a kiss, baby. Come on.
"Not now, Finn. We're in a public place and people are seeing us." That moment, Dennis grabbed him and threw him away like a piece of paper. Finn was angry. He grabbed a chair, but before he could hit Dennis with it, I stopped him. "Stop that right now."
Your stupid bodyguard started it. Why don't you tell him to have a life of his own? Or go home to his mom?
"No, Finn. You're going home." I immediately called a taxi for him. And when he finally left, I went to Dennis. I know he was an idiot. But I can sort it out myself, Dennis. You don't have to get involved every damn second.
He didn't respect your privacy.
Your job is to protect me, not to disturb my personal affairs. Know your limits.
Excuse me. It'll never happen again.
I didn't really mind. That Finn got the beating he deserved. But Dennis was always there and just got on my nerves. A few days later, I was at a concert, played my new song, and everyone sang along with me. Felt amazing. Some of them even started climbing onto the stage. "Join me." Dennis suddenly jumped in and pushed her off the stage. What the hell? He then picked me up and carried me backstage. In the middle of my damn gig. "That's enough now. My parents are paying you to protect me, not to annoy me and screw up my concerts."
Hello? Your life was in danger. You must see everyone as a threat.
That is ridiculous. Whoever is sending these stupid threats, it's probably just a harmless guy.
Better safe than sorry.
I've complained to my parents about his behavior, but they praised him for his action. Guys, that guy is ruining my career. And even my personal life. He's just doing his job, honey. And that's making sure you're safe all the time. It was a hopeless case. So I went to Teresa instead. And she's come up with a plan. Make him freak out, Nina. Do everything you can to make him freak out. You're good at that or not. The plan is great. You're the best. Course I am. I stayed up until 4 o'clock that evening to keep Dennis from sleeping. But to my surprise, he was already awake. "I need you to get my favorite Starbucks coffee."
It's not part of my job description.
"Do as I tell you, Dennis."
Okay. What do you want to drink?
An iced venti caramel macchiato with 6 shots of mocha, a quarter of fat-free milk, an eighth of almond milk, with medium-sized whipped cream and a dash of caramel, and a rose design on the mug, in a biodegradable takeaway cup with a pink straw.
I've got it.
He left immediately. And Holy Mother Mary, he came back with exactly my order. How now?
Anything else?
No, that's all for now. I went to the mall later that day and went on a long shopping trip. I forced him to carry all my bags to tire him out, but he was like a machine. I entered a clothing store, and when I tried on the nicest clothes, I kept asking for his opinion, but he wasn't paying attention. Hi, aren't you giving me a compliment or something?
You want to hear my opinion? Sorry, but that's not part of my job.
Any normal guy would have been drooling at me by now. To get back at him, I pretended to have hurt myself, but he was still as strong as a damn tank. I went to the bathroom with everything I had bought, and I escaped from the window. After I was sure that I had removed him, I went to an orphanage and gave the kids all the clothes. While I was having fun with them, Teresa sent me a few pictures of Finn kissing a blonde girl in a restaurant. That point I didn't care. Finn is an idiot. I sent him a message right away and told him we're done together. He was the worst boyfriend anyway. He started calling me, so I just blocked him. Problem solved. I later went to a club to celebrate my breakup, and as I danced my heart out, I noticed someone at the bar staring at me. It was Dennis. Of course he found me. A cute guy tried to dance with me, and suddenly Dennis came and pushed him away. Hey, what are you doing there? Do you want to beat up everyone who is near me now? Then you'll just have to dance with me. I don't mix business with pleasure. Dance with me or sit quietly in a corner. Then I'll find someone else. Before I could poke at the guy next to me, Dennis suddenly grabbed my hand to dance with me. At that moment, the song became slow, romantic, and he pulled me closer by the waist. The song isn't bad, is it?
Yes, if you say so.
You can say my name, you know?
If you say so, Nina.
He had a sweet little smile on his face, and my heart was pounding a bit faster. We danced slowly. He looked deep into my eyes. All of a sudden, his face was so close to mine. At that moment, he pulled away from me. It's as if he'd been frightened.
We need to go home.
But it is still early.
It's just for your safety.
He was so annoying. When we got home, I saw a box lying on my bed. The box was full of rats. They were spread all over the room in a flash. Dennis saw a small note in the package, and for the first time I was really afraid.
Someone broke into your room. That person is serious. We must be more careful.
He told me not to go to school anymore.
For security reasons, only for the next few days.
And I agreed. One evening, my manager called. He reminded me of my concert in Paris tomorrow. It was my biggest gig so far. Had to go there.
I don't think you should make public appearances until we find out who's following you.
No, we're not doing that. I can figure it out myself. The show was planned in advance, and all tickets are sold. There's no way I'm canceling it. Dennis decided to let me go, but he had one condition.
We had to share a hotel room,
so he could keep an eye on me all the time. When we were finally in Paris, I've been practicing all night for my song, while he was constantly looking out the window. The next morning, I found him half naked on the couch. He looked really hot. A picture of a beautiful girl was in his wallet. She looked about my age. Was I jealous? No, of course not. Why should I care if he has a girlfriend? A few hours before the concert, while my makeup team worked on me, Dennis suddenly tore me away.
Can't you just postpone the show? It's too dangerous.
We've already talked about it.
Please, Nina, just listen to me. You're important to me, you know?
Oh yes, is that so? Just do your job. Make sure I'm safe. And let me do my job. People want to see me. Did you understand that?
Yes, I have.
During my concert, I tried not to think about Dennis and these threats, and it went so well. In the middle of my performance, I saw Dennis in the crowd, And he smiled at me. He looked so cute. No, stop that, Nina. No, he has a girlfriend. While I was singing my fourth song, I suddenly saw someone wearing a hood in the crowd. And he was aiming at me with something. No, no, no. I froze in panic. But just then a pair of strong arms grabbed me and pulled me off the stage. I opened my eyes and saw Dennis in front of me.
Stay here, don't move.
He returned a few minutes later. He said he didn't find the guy anymore. I was still shaking in fear and he lifted me up gently. Then we went back to the hotel. He tucked me into bed and sat in a nearby chair. I closed my eyes and tried to sleep. I felt safe because Dennis was there too. Some time later, I felt him put a blanket over me. And he gently stroked my cheek. Why did he do that? And why is my heart suddenly beating so fast? When I woke up the next morning, Dennis has already been in the kitchen. He smiled and danced while cooking our breakfast. It was the first time I ever saw him happy. I was shy when he turned to me. I didn't have any makeup on. It was the first time he saw me without makeup.
You look even better than usual.
Is giving compliments now also part of your job?
Perhaps.
I knew it, no one could resist me. Not even my emotionless bodyguard. What would your girlfriend say about that, Dennis?
I assume you're talking about the picture of the girl in my wallet.
Oh man, he knew I was spying on him. He told me the picture was of his sister, and that they grew up together in an orphanage. He lost her because he couldn't protect her back then.
She always wanted to go to Paris. She wanted to climb the Eiffel Tower once in her life.
And that's why he became a bodyguard. I suddenly felt brave. Then we'll go over there for her.
I certainly won't allow it. You're not allowed to go anywhere. I know why you don't want to. You're afraid of heights.
I'm not afraid when you're around me. I'm going to be okay. Promise. He finally agreed. When I saw how tall the thing was, I suddenly became nervous.
Are you sure about that? We can just go back, you know.
No, I can do it. When we got to the top, I screeched and covered my eyes.
You've made it to the top. You must enjoy the view.
I don't know if I can do that.
Do you trust me?
Yes, I do.
Okay then. Open your eyes when I say so.
I kept my eyes closed as he led me forward. And then I suddenly felt his arms around me. I opened my eyes and gasped. I've never felt so safe in my life. Dennis,
Yes.
have you ever been in love before? My smile immediately faded at his answer.
No. It's never happened to me before. I can't do my job well if I show feelings.
So it was just me who felt that. He was just nice to me, that's all. A week later, I went back to school for the final exams. I've been looking for Teresa so that we can study together in the library. But I couldn't find her. I sat down to study alone while Dennis was waiting at the door. I needed to focus. A few minutes later, he rushed in and screamed.
Nina, be careful.
The huge bookshelf behind me suddenly wobbled, but Dennis jumped in front of me and pushed me out of the way. That's when the shelf fell on him. He was in hospital for a week. My parents didn't want me to visit him. They told me it was too dangerous. But I insisted on visiting him every day. One day when I was in the waiting area, Teresa came to me with my favorite coffee. But before I could take a sip, one hand suddenly knocked the cup away. I turned around and saw Dennis. There was a policeman next to him.
He suddenly handcuffed Teresa.
What are you doing, you idiot? Dennis, what's going on here? Dennis then told me the truth. It was Teresa that pushed the bookshelf.
I had my eyes on her. I knew there was something wrong with her. She entered the library through the back door. I knew she was up to no good. I'm sure your coffee is poison too.
My best friend tried to hurt me. Teresa, why? And suddenly she turned into a monster. Because I hate you. You've got everything I've ever wanted. Beauty, talent, fame, fortune, Finn. Life is so unfair. I've wanted to get rid of you for a long time. But your stupid bodyguard was always there. I was speechless. Dennis then hugged me.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine, but I can't be your bodyguard anymore, Nina. I can't keep fighting my feelings for you.
Is it bad if I fire you now? Do you want to be my boyfriend instead? Without a word, he grabbed my face and finally gave me a kiss. I took that as a yes. Why did Dennis become a bodyguard? A. Because of his sister. B. Because of money. C. He has no degree. Leave a comment.